Hey, welcome. And this is on the first lesson, Nature of Economic Analysis, and we're looking at what economics, managerial economics, really means. Now, it is a science. Economics, as you've seen in other topics or other videos before, it is a science. That is science that deals with. It is going to deal with the production, and it will look at the production of goods and services, and it will look at the exchange of those goods and services that have been produced, and then finally it will look at the consumption of those very goods and services that have been produced. So, and of course the goods and services or commodities. Now wherever you go, you find that there's production going on. There are goods and services being produced everywhere. Farmers are planting crops. Companies or factories are producing goods like clothes. There are assembly plants. They are producing sodas. They are producing juice. Wherever you go, you find there's production taking place now, and people are at work. And then there is the exchange of goods and services. These goods which are produced are then, when they are finally they can become final products, they are taken to the shops, they're taken to the retailers and the wholesalers and distribution points, and they are exchanged. So there is exchange of these goods. Then you go to the shop and you buy. That's the exchange. So when you buy that commodity, the major reason why you buy it is because you want to consume it in the end. So there's consumption, that the actual use of this commodity. So economics looks at all this process. It looks at the production of goods and services. It looks at the exchange of these produced goods and services, and it looks at the consumption of those goods and services. So these three things are really important in the economics. And it shows how now one thing you need to know is in economics we have scarcity of resources. Now this is the major rotating, the major point we look at in economics is, now this is the biggest point in economics. It is the real reason why economics arises, is there is scarcity of resources. So when we say there is scarcity of resources, we mean the resources are not enough. And when we talk about resources, we usually mean the labor, that is the factors of production like labor. We mean land, we mean capital, we mean entrepreneurship. So these are limited, they are not enough. You see, they are not enough, and we have to make a decision. So you find that economics shows us how these scarce resources are used to increase wealth as well as human welfare. So the biggest reason why you're going to be studying economics is because you want to help allocate the scarce resources in order to produce goods and services which can be, of course, exchanged and then consumed. So but now let us move a little bit far away from this and look at a simple thing. Why do you go to work? Why does somebody go to work? You see, why does a farmer go to the garden? Why does a factory worker go to the factory to work? Why do you open a business? Why would you start up a business? You see, all these questions, why would you do this? There are usually two reasons why you do this. Why you wake up to, why are you studying your MBA? Why are you doing the MBA now? And why do you wake up to go to work? You see, so you are studying. These people are going to the garden, to the factories, to the businesses, because they want to achieve one of the two things, if not both. So So one thing they want to achieve is wealth. When say wealth, we're looking at the stock of assets you want to an individual owns. So wealth is a stock of assets. You want to accumulate a stock of assets. So you are either working because you want to save up money and build a house and build another house and build another house and buy cars. So that is wealth. That's material things. You want to build up more wealth and become happy in that way. And another way is because you want to be happy, and that's the welfare. You want to have a good life, you see. You want to get freedom. So that's why some people go to work, because they are looking for a satisfaction in that way. So there are two reasons actually why you would work. You would go to the garden, you would go to the factory and do all these things. So basically that is what economics revolves around. We are going to look at wealth and we're going to look at welfare. And to help us with this, there were two economists who came up with solutions or definitions regarding this. So first thing we need to know is there are two major factors. Your notes, they say there are two major factors. There are two major factors that are responsible for economic problems. So, and those things are, people have unlimited wants. Very true. People have unlimited wants. And then we have scarce resources, like we have talked about in the beginning. We have scarce resources. So you have unlimited wants. You want so many things. Even right now as we speak, you want so many things. You want a car, you want a house, you want a phone, you want a cloth, you want maybe you want to go out, you want to use your salary. You are earning a salary of say 500,000 Ugandan shillings. So of course this salary is not enough. So this salary is limited. So this is the scarce resource we are talking about. So there are scarce resources which cannot meet all these unlimited wants. And that's why economics comes in. The numerous human wants. You see, man has so many wants that we really have to study economics and improve our decision making. And so you will hear us talking about choice. So when you have 500,000, you have to make a choice. Okay, do you really want to spend it on maybe installment payment on a car? Do you want to spend it buying maybe land to build a house? Do you want to spend it on a phone? Do you want to spend it on clothes? Or do you want to spend it, or do you want to save it? See, so you have to make a choice. So choice is that act of making, or the process of making the right decision. So that will be choice, the right decision out of a set of given alternative. So you have to make a choice, because we have these two major factors pushing us. You have unlimited ones and we have scarce resources. And that's why we have to be studying economics or managerial economics in order to improve our decision making. And of course, while you're making this choice, there will be something that will pop up, and it will be called opportunity cost. See, opportunity cost will come in as a result of making that choice. So when you decide to spend your 500,000 on clothes, then it means the next best thing would have been the phone. That is foregone. So opportunity cost is that alternative that you lose out on, that you forego. So the alternative foregone is when a choice is made is the opportunity cost. You see, so that explains these two major factors bringing about the emergence of economic problems. And I can give you a simple scenario. Since you have only a salary of 500,000, now there are workers working in the car factory, there are workers working in the maybe housing finance bank dealing with houses, or builders who build houses. There are workers in the phone selling business, there are workers in the factory, there are workers in the banks and all this. Now when you get only 500,000, you cannot afford to be able to spend your money on all these things. That means you will have to choose. Now when you choose to give money to, say, the people who make clothes, that means the builders will not have jobs because there is no demand for their services. If many people choose to buy clothes, then means the builders will have a problem because people are not buying building materials, they are not demanding for their services. So that means there will be unemployment, and that is where we are saying that these two major factors are the reasons why we have economic problems. Another economic problem, inflation. If all of you decide to demand for Christmas clothes in Christmas, that means the demand for these clothes is going to go up, and probably let us assume that the supply is limited. There are few clothes available, or a particular line of clothes, because of probably the coronavirus pandemic, and so the supply is limited. So the price of that cloth is definitely going to go up. So if you look at everything, you find that in economics, these two drive everything. The unlimited wants of people, the unlimited human wants, and the scarce resources. Those two factors are the root cause of so many problems we have in the economies. And I would like to look at two economists, and one is Adam Smith. Of course, Adam Smith, he existed between 1723 to 1790, and he's one of those economists who really defined economics. And he says it is a science of wealth. He explained, so he tells us that economics is the science of wealth. You see, he says that an individual wants to promote his own gain. People are selfish in that way. That we want to promote our own gains. Individual wants to promote his own gain. And because he wants to promote his own gain, he ends up promoting the gains of the society. You see? Let's give you an example. You want to become rich, so you want to become wealthy. See? So if you want to become wealthy, you decide that probably the best route of you, the route you should take would be to probably set up a school in your region. So you want to become rich, and you say, and to become rich, I need to set up a school. Maybe this school will be located in your village. Why would you decide to put in your village? Probably because there are no schools in your village. So when you do that, you find that so many people come to your school because the people also did not have a school. So the people also had the problem with the school. See? So since the people had a problem with the school, they will come to the school that you have set up. And that will have promoted their gains as well. So while you're trying to promote your own gain, you end up promoting other people's gains, the society's gains, and in the end, if you set up a school, I set up a school, another one sets up a school, in the end we are developing the infrastructure of this place. And if so many people, another one decides to set up a hospital, another one decides to set up a bank, another one decides to set up a company, another one maybe producing juice or manufacturing juice, another one decides to start up a construction company, another one. So you find that with all these things that are coming up, they are developing the community. You find that the communities are developing. But why are they developing? This one did not start up the hospital because he really loves the community that he wants to develop it. No, he started because he wanted to make money. But while he's making money, he is promoting good health in the community. He is helping the people in the community get good health and improving their welfare as a result. And the banks are producing, but they are promoting commerce in the community. The companies, the construction company is helping. So this is what Adam Smith really explains. He considers that an individual wants to promote only his own gain. Every one of these people wants to promote their own gain, but they are led by that invisible hand to promote the interests of the society, though they have no real intention to promote the society's interests. So this is what Adam Smith talks about. So, and this can be clearly seen in these big economies like USA, whereby you find that everything revolves around. We shall look at capitalism later, but when it is in a capitalism economy or a capitalist economy, you find that such things are happening, and economies develop very fast because people will because there's no corruption in this, because somebody wants to make profits. So they will make sure there's efficiency in production, and they will produce their commodities really well, high quality, to make sure that they meet the customers' demands. So this is what Adam Smith was trying to. So he says economics this is how a nation's wealth is created. This is how a nation grows, and exactly this is how nations like America have grown, because it starts by person A wanted to become rich. If person A wants to become rich, he sets up a school and educates people. The people who get educated also want to become rich, so they set up more schools, they set up banks, they set up hospitals, and then they keep on setting up, and so you find them setting hospitals, they're developing roads, they are developing maybe electricity projects, and you find as a result of this person wanting to become rich, they are setting up infrastructure, and the economy's wealth, remember we said, is a stock of assets. So the economy starts to get more assets as a result, and it develops in the end. So that is how Adam Smith looks at it. So that is the part one of what economics is all about. And then came in another economist who is called Alfred Marshall. And now Alfred Marshall, for him, he concentrated on the welfare part of economics. He says economics is the study of man. Is the study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. So he talked about the ordinary business of life. So Alfred Marshall says economics studies all actions. Says economics, I want you to get this clear. He says economics studies all the actions. Economics studies all the actions that a person takes. All the actions a person takes to attain material or economic welfare. Material or economic welfare. Now, what does this mean? He says economics only studies those actions that look at what you are doing, whatever you're doing to make sure that you get economic welfare. It looks at only the material or the economic welfare of life. So if we break this down, what he's actually saying is there are so many parts of life. So there are so many parts. We have the political part of life, where you are involved in politics, you are going to vote, and all of that. Then there's another part where the social part, where you go and visit a friend. You are gonna make him happy, because welfare is all about a person's well-being, a person's happiness. How happy are you? How good do you feel about your life? So that's welfare. So like I was saying, there's the political part of life, there's the social part of life, and in addition to this, we have the economic part of life. So the economic part of life. So people are going to do all they can to make sure that they get happiness on all fronts. You want to be happy that you have the right leader in place, and politically you're going to do all you want so that you have the good friends surrounding your life. And you're going to do a lot of actions to make sure that you prosper, that you have all the money you need in the world, all the assets you need all the money you need to take care of the people you love. So now Alfred Marshall only looks at this. He does not consider this. So for him, this is not what economics is all about. Economics is all about this, the economic part of life. So he says that people are going to do whatever it takes to get this, and economics only looks at the material things, the economic part of life. So of course he makes a distinction. He says there are material things and immaterial things. Material things are those that can be seen, felt, touched, and the material things are those that cannot be touched. But he says that people, whatever economics looks at, it only looks at the business part of life. It only looks at the economic part of life, and that is how he defines economics.